The Green Controller. It was a quiet day at Tidmouth Sheds. Percy was all alone. Suddenly, Sir Topham Hatt's car pulled up. Percy was very surprised to see Lady Hatt. "Sir Topham is sick," she announced grandly. "He has lost his voice." Percy was worried. "I hope he finds it soon," he peeped. "Sir Topham has given me a list of jobs," Lady Hatt continued. "Listen very carefully. Gordon is to collect cars of china from Knapford and take them to Brendam Docks. He must pull the cars very slowly." "Slow cars," peeped Percy. "James is to shunt freight cars in the coal yard. He must be as busy as a bee." "Busy bee," puffed Percy carefully. "And Toby is to take visitors from Maithwaite to the Scottish castle. He must go as fast as Gordon's Express." "Gordon's Express," puffed Percy. "You're in charge now, Percy," said Lady Hatt, and she left. Just then, Thomas puffed in from his morning's work. "I'm controller for the day," peeped Percy proudly. "Do you need any help?" Thomas asked his friend. "Controllers don't need help," wheezed Percy, and off he chuffed. Percy found Gordon first. "Sir Topham Hatt has lost his voice," puffed Percy, "so I am controller until he finds it." Gordon was surprised. Percy tried hard to remember what Lady Hatt had said. "You must pull very slow cars," he peeped proudly. "Oh, the indignity," huffed Gordon. Percy had a lot to do and a lot to remember. Next, Percy found James at the washdown. "James, you must be a busy bee," he peeped. James gasped. "Do you mean I have to be painted yellow and black?" he whistled weakly. "Yes, James," Percy said sternly. "But why?" snorted James. Percy tried to peep boomingly. "Because I am controller." And then Percy puffed off. Next, Percy found Toby. "Toby, you must pull Gordon's Express," he told him. "Why?" Toby asked. He was very puzzled. "That's your job," peeped Percy boomingly. Percy felt very important. Later, Percy decided it was time to check on his engines. He knew that's what Sir Topham Hatt would do. Percy stopped at a junction. He noticed some children pointing and laughing. Percy looked ahead and saw James stopped at a signal. James's boiler was now painted yellow with black stripes. The signalman was laughing. "Are you carrying honey?" he teased James. "Bust my boiler," James snorted. Everyone was laughing at him because he looked like a giant bee. James was so upset, he didn't wait for the signal. He puffed right into Gordon, who was moving very slowly. Then Toby steamed in, pulling the heavy express. James and Gordon were blocking the way. "Oh no!" Percy whooshed. He couldn't watch. Toby couldn't stop and ran into James. No one was hurt, but it was a terrible mess. "Cinders and ashes," said Thomas, pulling alongside Percy. "What's happened?" "I was wrong to say I didn't need your help, Thomas," Percy peeped sadly. "I haven't been a very useful controller on my own." "We can sort this out," Thomas promised. "Sometimes when you can't remember something, you must go back over your tracks." Thomas and Percy pulled into Knapford Station. Gordon and slow cars, puffed Percy. Suddenly, Percy saw crates of china waiting on the platform. That's it, Percy cried. Gordon is to take the china to Brendam Docks. He must pull his cars very slowly. Percy and Thomas puffed into the coal yards. James must be a busy bee, Percy said slowly. There were lots of grumbling coal cars waiting to be shunted. That's it. James is to shunt lots of coal cars. So he must be busy as a bee. Finally, Percy and Thomas arrived at Maithwaite Station. Toby must pull Gordon's express, wheezed Percy. Suddenly, Percy saw a group of visitors waiting on the platform. That's it, Percy cried. Toby is to take visitors to the Scottish castle. He has to go as fast as Gordon's express. Well done, Thomas puffed happily. By the end of the day, all of the engines were doing the right jobs. That evening, Sir Topham Hatt came to the sheds. "You have done very well, Percy," he boomed. "I'm very pleased." "And I'm very pleased that you found your voice," Percy peeped happily. Sir Topham Hatt smiled. "And I hope you never lose it again," Percy added.